Angelfish Arabesque is very atmospheric. I think it's quite evocative of a fish swimming in the sea. The entire piece is built on semitones, namely the two groups of two white keys on the keyboard. And it uses pedal, but just the one pedal throughout. There are no changes. This helps create a mildly contemporary sound world that I think is a little bit different to what we might normally encounter in a preliminary level collection. From a technical standpoint, I think achieving the evenness of the flowing quavers is likely to be one of the primary focus issues. Specifically, we should be listening for the clean passing between the hands and the shaping of phrases between the hands. One of the nicest things about this piece is that it only uses the second and third fingers in each hand. So this really helps isolate the difficulty and gives students a better chance of exploring those connections, developing some of that control between the fingers. I normally start by having students find the groups of two white keys, so finding the semitones. We do this all over the different registers. And then we talk about feeling the weight released into the key and rolling from their fingertip to fingertip. So one hand at a time, we'll float into the key and roll, a little bit like a seesaw. So passing from one finger and back again. So floating in and roll. Once that's comfortable, we'll try it also in the right hand. And then we can try passing between the hands. So and also in reverse. The composer Carol Klose talks about aiming to give the illusion of one hand without any bumps. So bumps between those connections. Before I ask my students to play the entire piece with flowing connections, I have them practice the semitone groups as clusters. So, and I do this because I think it helps them feel the flow between their arms and get used to a number of the hand crossings in this piece. So, as I mentioned earlier, this piece uses a single pedal throughout, which gives students of this level experience of using the pedal, but without having to juggle the challenges and demands of more specific pedaling, at least at this stage. One should consider, I think, starting the learning process without any pedal, so that the fingers themselves can aim to achieve sort of a control and sound that we're aiming for, and our ears can get used to hearing what the fingers are actually doing. To make students more aware of that feel and sound of legato, you might choose to do an opposite version. You might try a staccato version. So, for example, I jokingly like to call this the fish out of water version, or perhaps bare feet at the beach, nice hot footsteps. Sometimes I'll say to students, let's play it out of water, so just walking, no pedal. And then later swimming underwater, so again with pedal. I think this piece gives students and teachers an opportunity to reinforce keyboard geography to help find those different white key groups throughout the registers. Because this piece is built on such a clear construct, I think we can consider identifying activities and listening oral activities as well for students to help them identify semitones themselves. Finally, for students that enjoy creative tasks or being challenged, you might like to explore the ideas of creating a new piece based on this one, or transposing this piece to a new position. To introduce ideas of improvisation and composition, students could try using the same semitone note groupings, but change the order of the notes. So, for example, as one possibility. And they can try that in all different registers. You might identify the existing registers in Angelfish Arabesque and apply those to your new piece, or you could do something entirely different. I think at this earliest stage, defining some structure for early improvisers does tend to be helpful. For a transposition task that reinforces keyboard geography, I like to ask students to find the semitone groups using the black keys. So for example, starting on C sharp and F sharp, and then in that new position, playing the piece again and working out what the relationships are. So I hope you enjoy this piece.